Hello and welcome to this introduction to GIPS, brought to you by Passing Score, where you can get more help on your exam prep at PassingScoreFinance.com. GIPS stands for the Global Investment Performance Standards, and what this represents is an effort to make investment performance numbers comparable and more transparent so that you can actually compare numbers coming from different investment firms and even different firms in different countries. Gives you an idea of what's going into those composite numbers so that you can hopefully compare apples to apples. If you have two portfolios, A and B, which both claim to have a 3.6% return, you don't necessarily know what that means. Portfolio A could be talking about a 60-day holding period return, and B could be talking about their 10-year average. You just don't have a good idea without more information. What GIPS provides is a standard for calculation methodologies, presentation, and the time period that you're talking about, as well as lots of other information that makes it easier to compare between A and B so that you can make a better decision. GIPS clearly states what their objectives are in these four statements. Key here is to make them fair and comparable and to provide full disclosure. So we have more transparency behind the numbers that are going in there. And this is to support the idea of a fair and global competition, a level playing field no matter where you are, so that you can better choose your investment managers and make better decisions. And another important goal is self-regulation for the investment industry, avoiding issues around fraud and manipulation that could invite not only clients' problems and lawsuits, but government regulation as well. A strong self-regulatory structure supported by the GIPS standards avoids those kinds of issues. So it's important for a lot of reasons. The scope of what GIPS covers is also defined. What the definition of the firm is, what assets are being included, and who are we talking about? The presentation of the performance. So we're talking 10 years of data when possible. But with a company that's new or just starting to implement GIPS, it's at least 5 years or since inception and compliance with all GIPS rules across the entire firm. You can't selectively choose where you're going to apply the GIPS rules. The characteristics of what GIPS compliance looks like is included as well. Every portfolio has to be included in at least one of the composites, and we're talking about discretionary fee-paying portfolios. And in this case, there's a minimum of 5 years or since its inception, as we mentioned. These non-discretionary portfolios, or those that are directed by a client, should not be included in composites. We're only judging the portfolio manager's performance, not anything that can be controlled by the client. There's specific presentation and calculation methods, as well as disclosures, which are an important characteristic. And these represent minimum standards for GIPS, not necessarily fixed rules. In other words, we want to stick to the spirit of full disclosure and providing sufficient information for a client or investor to make a good decision. So there's a wide variety of different types of investments and portfolios. So you should be providing whatever information is relevant to that that will give a clear picture. And finally, we have compliance and what that looks like when we're GIPS compliance. We're looking at providing information to all prospective clients for the previous 12 months, clearly defining the firm, and we're saying that we're complying with all of the GIPS requirements. Now, if you're taking the CFA exam, You'll need to know a lot of other rules besides just strictly the calculation requirements and the objectives and scope that we just went over. There are specific GIPS advertising guidelines, which help protect clients against misrepresentation, verification procedures, and it's also provided in your books is the GIPS glossary. So you should have a good idea of a lot of the important terms around the GIPS standards. That's it for our introduction to GIPS. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at john@passingscorefinance.com, and good luck on your exam.